Hello, 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 everybody. So I'm hoping at this point that we all have our flaming text. We added that in with our word that describes us with our first name. And then I'm hoping that we also got far enough to where we added in your background. So at this point, the only other thing that you should have on your slide is the answer to the 3 prompts that you chose. From the ones that I offered on that first slide. So it should look something like this. Now, if yours doesn't have the same spacing as mine or whatever, don't worry about that. The first thing I want you to do though now is because we are eventually going to add in an image on this slide. So for now, I'm just going to have you take your text box and I'm going to have you go to the end and just click and drag and just kind of horizontally shorten that text box so that you're opening up a space over here for when we do go to add in that image. And yours doesn't have to look exactly like this because we can move it all later. Just for now, go ahead and shorten up that text box some for me. Look good. So let's first do the bullet points and customize those. So if you already have bullet points in there, just hold tight. If you don't have bullet points in there, we need to get bullet points in there. So the way that you do that is you simply put your cursor where you want your bullet point to go. So I just clicked right here in front of my first sentence here. And all you're going to do is you're going to come up here to the bullet point option. You see that right there? And you're going to click it. And that should add in a bullet point. If you don't see this option available for some reason, it more than likely can be found right here where these 3 dots are and it says more. So you might need to click that and it should be there if it's not already on your toolbar. So once you do the first one, you'll need to go down and do the same exact thing for the next 2. Click in front of the second place where you want your bullet point, come back up, hit that, and look at that. If that happens, see how my bullet point went in for some reason and is not aligned with that? You should be able to come up here to this arrow and click and drag and align that S back up. I aligned this S with this S and notice that it brought it back there. And I also just noticed that it took away my spacing here. So let's see. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. Let's see if that does it when I do my third one. Again, I'm just going to click in front of my A. I'm going to come up here to my bullet point, click it, and it did the same thing. So once again, I'm just going to come up here to this blue triangle, click and drag, line my A up with my S, and fix that. Next, we are going to customize our bullet points. So we are going to change them into an image as opposed to, or an icon, as opposed to the regular old bullet points here. Now there are a couple ways you can do this. Actually, no, I'm just going to show you the one way, my bad. If you hover over one of the bullet points, doesn't matter which one it is, notice my cursor changed from a regular cursor to you want it hovering to it changes to that almost like capital I looking cursor. And then you're going to right click. Once you right click, you will see this menu pop up and you can hit more bullets. From there, you can do some kind of sorting and filtering. So you have symbols. But look, if you click symbols, look at all these different options you have. You have emojis, punctuation, numbers, all this stuff. I don't even mess with a majority of these. I do not mess with. I typically just go straight to emoji because they're fun and cute. And then if you select emojis, look, you even have further options that you can kind of sort and filter. You can do people and emotions, animals, plants and food, objects, sports, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read all that to you guys. You definitely want to kind of stick with your topic or your theme and your colors. So on one of my responses, I mentioned disliking cancer. So for mine, I'm going to type in, for a search, I'm just going to type in ribbon and see if they have, you got to spell it right, see if they have like one of those, oh, and yes, they do. Look, right there, a cancer ribbon in support of people fighting cancer. So that's what I'm going to choose for mine. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. Actually, you know what? Pause me. Go ahead and find yours, and then come back to me. Once you come back, then and you've decided on which one you want, you're going to go ahead and click it. Now, at first, you're probably like, "What the heck, man? What happened? Nothing happened." Well, it happened. I clicked it, but you're going to need to X out of it, and then you'll see that mine are now all. It automatically changed all of those to the Cancer ribbon. The other thing you can do for some of them, it doesn't happen for all of them, but for some of them, like mine's just a black ribbon. If I click on, again, I'm just regular clicking on, not right click this time. This time I'm just regular clicking on the first one, and the rest of them are chosen. You can change the color on some of them. So for mine, I clicked on it. If I wanted to, I could come up here to my text color and click it. Now, my daughter had leukemia, so the color of her leukemia ribbon, that color is orange. So I'm going to come here and select the color orange. Even though it doesn't really go well with my color scheme, I might change that later, but we're just kind of making this quickly. So you can see now, it's kind of hard to see because they're small, but I've got my bullets now changed to the Cancer ribbon and the color of my choice. That's all we're going to do for now in terms of the bullet points. Next up, we are going to play around with the font size and the font type and the text box and all of that. So go ahead and head to the next slide.